Hi students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. Hope you are doing good. Only three of you has attended the interactive session today. I hope in the next interactive session, that is next week Thursday 3 o'clock, everyone must attend the interactive session and give your views and feedbacks on these online YouTube classes. Okay, so that I can make changes in my teaching and we can go on your opinion itself. Okay, so we are seeing the introduction now. So we have seen the introduction till electronic payment systems, right? So we have seen what is multimedia desktop publishing, Adobe PageMaker, and then your third chapter is database management system, and then we have seen the introduction of PHP. PHP is hypertext preprocessor, and then we have seen the functions and arrays of PHP. And as I said you before, in your book, it is in page number 315 and 322. Conditional statements and looping structure. Write all this in your note. Without fail, you have to write it in your note and take a pic of it and send it to me, okay? This conditional statement, that is if statement, if else if, and switch case. And looping structure, that is for loop, while loop, do while loop. You have to write all the definition. If statement means definition, syntax, example. For loop means definition, syntax, and example. Like that, you have to write for all these. Because if you are learning it from your 11th grade portion means it will be easy when you are learning here for your 12th grade. The 6th and 7th chapter is totally uh, the conditional statement and looping structure. If you are knowing that from your 11th chapter, here you can just revise it and you can learn this within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and then 8th chapter is forms and files, and then about connecting PHP with MySQL, and then about computer networks also we saw, and the 11th chapter is network examples and protocols, and the 12th chapter is DNS, that is a domain name system. From 10th chapter onwards, we are learning about internet. So, to create a web page, we need PHP or HTML. About that, we learned from 4th to 9th chapter. We have learned about PHP and its statements, right? So, using this PHP or HTML tag, we'll create a web page or a website, and after creating a website only you are going inside network. So after that, after 10th lesson, we are learning about in this network, computer networks and all. Okay, so after this you are learning about the protocols, domain name system and all. For every anything and everything in the net, if you are visiting a website, it will have an address. If you are watching this video, you would have got a link, right? That link is the web address that will contain a domain name. It will have a IITCP bar IP. These are all the protocols. With this network protocols and with this domain name and with this link only, you will be able to access any network internet sites. Okay, and then about network cabling is your 13th chapter, and about that also we saw a small introduction, and then open source concept. Open source concept means that concept also is some open source softwares are there, they'll do some modifications. About that also we saw. And then 15th and 16th chapter are commerce and payment systems through internet, right? So it is e-commerce and e-payment systems, that is electronic commerce and electronic payment systems. About that and all we saw. And today we are going to see about EDI. These are the electronics commerce security system also, right? Have you read that? Have you listened to that previous class, or whether you need me to revise it once more and move on to the next chapter? See here, electronic payment system we saw about debit card, credit card, stored value cards, smart cards, and all. And in this e-commerce security system, we saw about the threats which will come in this e-commerce. We saw about with some examples also. We saw about the internet e-commerce threats. E-commerce means in every classes I am saying what is commerce? The buying and selling of products or any services or any data is known as commerce, right? E-commerce means electronic commerce. Electronic commerce means we are going to buy and sell these goods through online. If you are doing it online, we'll say it as electronic commerce. The short form of electronic commerce only we are saying it as e-commerce. right? So here we have seen some of the threats which will come in this e-commerce, the information leakage, the tipo piracy, so many things we saw here. And we have seen the dimensions of e-commerce security also. In these dimensions we saw the security technologies which is used in this electronic commerce transactions also, encryption, authentication protocols, authentication technology. And I have given you a clear idea on this encryption. Cryptography is a big uh, advantage because in all the security technologies they use this cryptography means it will have encryption and decryption. If it is a message, if it is a data, or if it is a code, or if it is a account number, whatever may be, it will just encrypt means this the value, if there is a word called the the is there means it will just encrypt. It will just make that the into some codings. So it will contain some letters, some alphabets, some symbols, some number, something will be there, and when we are seeing it, we cannot identify that is there. THE won't be there, some other letters will be there. That is encryption. After all the processing is done, when it is sent to the end user, at if a buyer is selling something, and if a seller is giving that thing's description to the customer, and the customer, if the customer needs to buy it, customer will send the amount through the electronic payment through some online payment sites, right? In the payment sites, if you are entering some account number or something, it will be encrypted. It will change it to a code, okay, and that code will be processed, and only the code will be visible to everyone, okay, and the end user who is receiving it will decrypt and will get the uh, data there. Decrypt means this code will be transferred to the normal text. If the code is like S, U, V, U, like that it is given, means that code will be again decrypted. It will be coded again, and it will display the result as the, like that it will display. Okay, so here we have seen about encryption, decryption, and symmetric key, asymmetric key, and about digital certificates and digital signatures and all. And today we are going to see the introduction of our last chapter in this 12th grade, that is electronic data interchange. Okay, everywhere data interchange has done. Okay, the business documents between one trade partner will be sent to another person electronically. That is, that will be done online. The data will be sent through internet. Okay, from here, if you are sending it through a mail, it will be received there, right? So without any security issues, if you have to send it there, you have to have some security technologies, right? So that only we'll be learning here. Electronic data interchange, the data or the business documents or the main files will be sent through internet. Okay, so this one we'll say it as EDI, electronic data interchange. Okay, here buyer will have a internal system and the supplier will have an internal system. From here, the purchase order will be sent from the buyer to supplier, right? And then if the supplier is ready to buy that product, he will send a invoice there, and with that bill, the supplier will be able to give the amount to this buyer, supplier, right? The supplier will have the product, and the buyer will be sending the purchase order. He'll send that I need this and this products, and the supplier will send the invoice. The invoice means nothing but bill, okay, and supplier will send the bill to the buyer, and the buyer will get the bill, and if the once the buyer is paying it, the supplier will send the product. So this is done by electronic data interchange, that is EDI. Okay, the traditional way of doing this is it will be in a paper. One person will be going and posting it somewhere or couriering it somewhere, and it will be sent, and at the other end it will reach, or one person will be going manually to that place and will get signed in that paper, and then they'll sell the product or get the product, something will be happening. It is the traditional way. Now we are doing everything online, so this documentations also are done online electronically. This data are also transact. Okay, then EDI types. Here you'll be learning about the types of this electronic data interchange. Okay, so here we have direct EDI and this EDI through WAN, EDI through FTP or VPN or SFTP or FTPS, web EDI, mobile EDI. This and all you will be learning here. Mobile EDI means using the smartphone itself with the handheld device which you are having in your hand itself. You'll be able to transfer the EDI documents. This is called mobile EDI. Okay, this app is increasing its speed of EDI transaction. This in this app, if you are sending, it will be so easy than this traditional and than other uh, types of EDI. Okay, and here we have some advantages of this EDI also. Here, this is improving the services to the end users. It will increase the productivity and this will minimize the errors also. Since we are sending it online, no errors will be there, right? Slashing the response time. Response time will be, see, as soon as you are sending, the uh, other end people will receive it, and as soon as the other end people is giving the digital signature or something, and if they are sending the next data means it will be reached to this to the other end within some seconds, right? So response time is very low, very less. You can do that process within 5 minutes. And automation of operation, everything will can be done automatically. The cutting the querying or the sending cost is not there. Integrating all business and trading partners can come along online, right? So if one business partner is in India, one business partner is in Singapore, one business partner is in Malaysia means we can't reach them. We have if you have to meet India's business partner means you have to be in India, or if you want to meet Singapore's business partner means you have to take a flight and you have to move to Singapore, and then only you can meet that trading partner, right? So if this is available online, all these people can get connected at a time through online, right? Then another advantage of this EDI is this providing information on process status. If the thing is processing also, we can know the status. That information also will be provided to us, right? So we can see in which state it is, how this is working, this and all we can see, right? Optimizing financial ratios and EDI layers also you will see in this chapter. Electronic data interchange architecture will have four different layers. Okay, first one is semantic layer. The semantic layer is the application level layer, and this will do the services for applications. Okay, and the next layer is a standard translation layer. Standard translation layer means this electronic data interchange fact business form will have some standards. Okay, and see in X12 business, any business form will have its own standard. If you are running a business, you will have some rules and regulations for that particular business, right? So these all standards will come under this EDI standard translation layer. And the next one is transport layer. Transport layer means here electronic mail, point to point, or world wide web. This everything will come in this transport layer. In electronic layer, if you see, X.435 will be there. Point to point means FTP, telnet and all. World wide net means you know it already, right? HTTP, hypertext uh, transfer protocol, right? This HTTP will come under this world wide web, and this all will come under the transport layer of EDI. Okay, electronic data interchange will have the transport layer, and it will have the electronic mail, point to point, world wide web and all. And at last it has a physical layer, and this physical layer will have the dial-up line, internet highway and all. And then we'll be seeing the EDI components also. For everything it will have some components, right? So for this electronic data interchange also we'll have some components. It will have a standard document format. Okay, for as I said you before, for every business they will have a standard document format. So for this also it will have a standard document format, and then translator and mapper will be there. Communication, for communicating we'll need a software and network, right? So communication software will be there, and then the communication network also will be there. You will be seeing about the CDI standards, about this directories, about all these softwares and networks and all in this chapter. And then you'll be seeing the structure of this standards also. Standard means it will have a specific segments, right? From lowest till highest level also this UN or EDI fact message structure they have given you in your book. Uh, that means from lowest, if you see, first the simple data elements will be there. That means a piece of single data will be there. It will be grouped into related simple elements. That is a composite element. Right? From highest level, if you see, first the interchange will be there. That is the piece of data between the segments will be done. That is the interchange. And then functional groups. That means piece of data between the segments of UNG or UNE will be there. And then these functional groups will be going to the next segment, that is message. And then the segment group. Segment group means it is the block of related data. Some the related data is there means which will be considered as a single block. Okay, so same related data will be combined as a group and it will be held as a block. Okay, and then next one is segment. Segment means that will be the mixture of simple and composite elements. So in this segments, if you see, it will have composite elements. That is the group of related simple elements will be the composite elements. Okay, composite means a group of related simple elements. Okay, and then simple data element means it is a piece of single data. Single data we'll say it as simple data elements. If a group of simple element is there, we'll say it as composite elements. All the simple and composite elements together we'll say it as segments. Okay, so a block of related data will be there and we will say it as segment group. Okay, all of these pieces of data together only we'll say it as message, and this messages will be going to the functional group and then the interchange. Interchange is the highest level and the simple data element is the lowest level. You will see about this briefly when you are learning this EDI chapter. Okay, and then about EDI fact. EDI fact means it will have a message, it will have some segments, elements, everything will be seeing in this chapter, and this is your last chapter. Okay, so if you are, this is also a small chapter only, a very easy chapter. Book back questions also will be only about EDI you are learning, EDI and EDI facts. So all the book back questions will be like write a note on EDI, define EDI, layers of EDI, EDI fact. Like that, all the 5 marks, 3 marks, 2 marks, everything will be coming around and around of this EDI only. So if you are knowing the concept of EDI and EDI fact, you will be able to do this uh, lesson very easily. Okay, you can learn this lesson very easily. All the chapters are easy only if you are learning it from the first one by one. When I am taking the first chapter, you have to learn the first chapter, and when we are moving, we have to complete the first chapter, you have to learn everything, and then only have to move to the second chapter. If we are going in that way, this computer application of this grade 12 will be very, very easy one. Okay, so today we are completing the introduction of this 18 chapters, and we can start, I think we can start our portion from the first chapter on Monday, right? Tomorrow also we'll have class. Tomorrow we'll have a small introduction about this practicals also. Okay, so you'll have a small idea what we are going to do in this practicals, I think. So if this idea also if you are having, you will be able to learn the things which will come in practical. This whatever you are learning in this theory, in this 18 lessons only, will be there in the practicals also. So when you are learning the theory portion, whatever portions you have to learn thoroughly, I'll say. Okay, tomorrow in the next session, I'll be saying you the explanation of this practicals. Okay, so if you are having an idea on this practicals, you itself will know which all portions, which all, if Adobe PageMaker, if you are learning, you can do this one practical. Like that, if you are knowing, when you are studying that lesson itself, you will be studying that thoroughly and you will make sure it will be useful for your practicals also, right? So, I'll make you, I'll give you the clear idea of what all will come in this practicals. I have 10 practicals, I guess. I don't know whether you will be having the reduced portion or the full portion. You didn't get the syllabus for your this year, this grade 12. So once you get the syllabus only, we'll know whether they have reduced something or whether have to learn all this 10 practicals. So on the whole, I'll give you the introduction of all this before we are moving on to the 12th portion. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to learn the theory as well as the practical. The side by side, if you are learning the practical means it will be easy. Okay, at last, if you are keeping everything, you will find this practical a difficult one. So we can learn all the on the whole. When we are learning the Adobe PageMaker, we learn this practical also. So that if you are having laptop or computer in your home, you can work it out also. Okay. Thank you for your valuable time. Stay home, stay safe, take care. Bye.